Hi everybody, here we are, here I am. You only have me this week. Alex is unavailable. So I'm going to go over the video newsletter this week, the weekly newsletter like I always do. Just getting my technical stuff in order here. All right, so I guess people know it, but they haven't figured it out yet, that we do a weekly newsletter, and this week it looks a whole lot better than it did last week. And basically, our video is just going to be going over the weekly newsletter. Since not everybody gets to read it, and we're going to just kind of tear it apart a little bit. So we're going to start with our joke of the week. By the way, somebody say hi. Make sure that you can hear me. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit. You let me know if that sounds better. I bet that sounds a lot better. All right. So what are the two reasons a Schuylkill murder is so hard to solve? Because of DNA matches and there's no dental records. Hey, Doug. All right. We have somebody chiming in finally. So last week we had Did you get my birthday text, Chad? I sent you a birthday text with a little bit of an extra note in it. So this week our Tricup winners this weekend were Two Pool for School, Team Roland, and fuck it. Oh, there's Alex. Hold on. There you are. And Two Pool for School. Okay. Oh, I missed your answer. I'll have to go look. Our upcoming events are... Oh, by the way, Tricup was great. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Our upcoming events are another Tricup. This Saturday on the 15th, we have Tricup. No, Saturday the 15th, we have 9-ball Tricup. And then Sunday, we have 8-ball Tricup. And then the following week is also Tricup. And then in 2 weeks, we have Straight to Vegas. I think everyone is... Are the Straight to Vegas full now, Alex?
They are. There's a waiting list.
If you want to get on the waiting list, what do you do?
Call me. Text me. There's 3 people on it now.
3 teams or 3 people?
3 teams.
3 teams? Okay. And then... So call or text Alex and she will put you on the waiting list. Is one of them Eugene Melichek?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So on to our general news. Yeah, our newsletter is getting a little bit better. This week we actually got pictures of us in it. And it's all in English.
It's funny.
I saw Shannon's translation, but I forgot it of the one section. So... The first round of fall 2022 Tricups are behind us. We are happy to say they went well and expect the upcoming ones to be the same. What do you think about Tricups?
Overall, it was pretty good. It got heated for a little while there. But everybody shook hands at the end.
The same old, same old.
Same old, same old.
Somebody was not, well, while we're talking about it, somebody was not happy about one of my calls that I made on a hit that I watched, and there were several others that were not happy about calls. But when you're the referee and you're called in to watch a hit, whatever you say goes. So there was a shot where the 15 and the 4 were right next to each other, and I don't usually, but I asked the shooter what ball they were shooting, and they said the 15. Well, they were too close to call. It very well may have hit the 4-ball first, but I could not clearly 100% surely tell that it hit the 4-ball first from my perspective. So I called a split hit, which goes to the shooter. And then...
No audio. Can anyone else hear
us? Let me know if... Other people must be able to hear us because I'm talking to them. So anyway, somebody calls me up later and they said, did you think they were on the 4-ball? I'm like, no, I knew they were on the 15. So, Jeff, check your audio because other people have it. Um, Let us know. Maybe we can help you. I'm not sure. So I called I called a split hit, and I think they were pretty mad, and they very well could have been right. It could have been a bad hit, but I, as the referee, stood in there, and I could not tell the difference. And if I will always err on the side of the shooter, as the rule book tells you. What does it tell you, Alex? It tells
Ball goes to the shooter.
the rule book tells Alex, you're out of the picture.
I am out of the picture. 100% on that.
Now I'm out of the picture. I'm stuck. Does that get both of us? Maybe we have to sit back a little farther. There we go. That looks better. All right. So, at any rate, and we tell people this, when you're called in, so the rule book tells you that if there's a risk of a foul, call in an outside party to watch it. And if the outside party cannot tell which ball was hit first, the call goes to the shooter. And I could not clearly, 100%, surely say that it hit the 4-ball first.
It's freaking hot in here.
And so okay, so we lost Alex. So that's what happened there. So there was a couple other issues where people were getting into it between each other, and they didn't get me till after the fact. So just a FYI, I've been on a tear lately. So if you get me involved, somebody's going to get a stern warning. In both cases, I probably would have wound up awarding the other person ball in hand, because the way that our discipline section is set up. Or the way our discipline section is set up is 1 is a warning, 2 is ball in hand, 3 is loss of game, 4 is loss of match, and 5th is thrown out of the tournament. And we don't usually go in exact order. And
We can go in whatever order we want.
I probably would have told the person to be quiet. They probably wouldn't have been quiet, and then I probably would have awarded the shooter ball in hand, and that would have been that. So, if you are coming to Tricup and you get any kind of friction between two shooters, get me. I'm not having it.
I think also, on another note, when you're coming to Tricup, remember that you are at somebody else's club, a club that has been hosting our events. So, try not to get like sloppy drunk, because I don't like to have to hear about it. It's embarrassing to me.
Didn't one of the shooters actually call the other shooter a name too?
Yeah.
Can I repeat that, or shall I move on?
Just move on.
All right, but anyway, when you come to Tricup, anything. So the plaques for fall 2022 were delivered to Wilmersdorf Social Quarters. Many have been picked up by division reps. So if you are missing a plaque, please see your division rep.
First, because if you call us, we're going to say, did you talk to your division rep?
That is true. And a lot of division reps are very excited to be helpful to their players, so they pick up their plaques even though they're coming the next week. Didn't one of the division reps want to take like half the plaques yesterday?
Yeah, God bless them.
I mean, we have great division reps, and some of them, and this division rep, I'm sure would have went out and given everybody their plaques. But I mean, a lot of people are coming, and we always get that where somebody is like, "Oh, where's my plaque?" And we're like, "Well, it was here, but your division rep took it." Now you're out of the picture again. Let's see if we can get you.
Just lean back then.
It must be the angle of the screen. Any other word on plaques, Alex?
No. You sent pictures of them out, right?
Well, I posted the pictures on the news section, and yeah, that was it, in the news section of the app. Does anybody go into the news section to see where the newsletter is? Because that's where it is. It was also sent out in an email. What's our email open rate, Alex? 15%?
I have no idea.
Okay. Also, the fall
I
22
quit
pack.
using Constant Contact because nobody opened their email, or then they unsubscribed and then wondered why they didn't know anything.
Jeff Whitman asks, why is there such a long wait between matches in Tricups? It depends. So that question could come from the tables are they're predetermined with a little bit of flexibility, so that way people don't get on the same tables back to back. And it takes Alex a certain amount of time to process the score sheet, so she has to put it in, go over the skill levels, and then reprint a new score sheet. You could be waiting for a match to finish. What else, Alex? Like, for some reason, a lot of times people had a habit of going in and talking to Alex while she was trying to turn the matches around. That slowed things down.
I mean, the match times are the match times. 9, 1, and what's the other one?
Yeah, but we fall behind. Were
we behind?
Yeah,
maybe because everybody.
The match times are constricted. Like that way, the tournament can be run.
Well, on table 1, the first match took an hour and a half.
So
many people went to sudden death this time.
So Jeff, I remember that situation. Jeff said they were there and the tables were empty. But there was no way to put you on another table without putting somebody else on a back-to-back table. And we do every effort we can to not have that happen.
Because then whoever wasn't on that table thinks the other team had a advantage.
If either captain would have come to me, I probably would have put them on another table that they were next to somebody or something like that. But neither captain came up and said anything either.
You mean you didn't just know that?
Well, I didn't know that. I know what he's talking about. And they were waiting for table 4. Remember that match? Mm-hmm. They were waiting for that match to finish? Because if we would have put them on table 3, then it would have made the other match go right back on the same table. Somebody from that team would have went right back on the same table that they were on again. And that's what happened there. We do try to avoid that, and we are aware of it. And maybe we'll just put people on back-to-back tables.
No.
Especially for people that come from far.
Maybe we should go back to having Tricup the entire weekend.
No, Alex. I had some people say that they were glad that we don't have that anymore. It used to take the whole weekend. Fall 2022 patches were delivered to the division reps. If you have not received yours, please
reach... You already read that.
No, I read plaques.
Oh.
So now we're on patches. Fall 2022 patches were delivered to the division reps. And you have not received, if you have not received yours, again, please reach out to the division rep. Anything on that one?
No.
So we're going to go to our rule reminder. One of the ways to win your game, as stated in the APAT manual on page 55, is D. Your opponent fails to properly mark the pocket where the 8 ball is pocketed and you call loss of game. What this rule means is that you don't necessarily have to call a loss of game if someone forgets to mark the pocket. Often players get into the habit of not marking the pocket on league night and then forget in higher level tournaments. If you forget to mark your pocket at a higher level tournament, there's a 99.9% chance your game will end in a loss.
I mean, it's almost like everything that, again, we tell you for a reason. Mark your pocket. If you're in the habit of marking your pocket, it's almost like muscle memory. There's so many other things you could be thinking about rather than marking your pocket. If you do it all the time, you're just going to do it. Especially when you get to Vegas. You know, the excitement in Vegas, the stress in Vegas. Like, if you have a habit of doing something, you're going to do it without thinking about it. Does that make sense? Repetitive action. I always mark the pocket.
I always mark my pocket either. Like, people are like, well, you don't have to mark your pocket when I'm playing them for the I Beat the League Operator patch. And then it's like, no, I'm just such a habit where I automatically mark it.
So, yeah.
So one team did not mark their pocket because that's what they do in league night in their area. And then they were awfully surprised when the player called them for not marking the pocket. And it wasn't, I believe that the pocket was not very far away.
No, I mean, you knew where the 8 ball was going, but still. I mean, you're playing to get into regionals to get to Vegas. Like, all of a sudden, everybody knows the rules. You know what I mean? The person that, called the loss of game, he was not wrong. Not at all. He felt bad. Don't get me wrong. He felt terrible about it. But he was not wrong. And I explained to the other team, like I would have done the exact same thing.
Some people follow the rule to the letter of the law, which we like. I personally like that.
It makes it easier.
It makes it a lot easier. And some people are more like Daisy. But you got to remember, and those teams couldn't have been from farther apart. That was a Douglasville team versus a McConnellsburg team, if I remember right. or a Douglasville team versus a Shippensburg team. It's about 2 hour driving distance between the two of them. But the rule book is standard.
Yeah, and in Vegas, they're never going to say, "Oh, don't worry about it."
What happened in Vegas? The one guy went to shoot the 8 ball. The guy nodded, and he pointed in the pocket. The guy nodded, okay, and then the guy shot the 8 ball in, and then he got the ref and got him for not marking the pocket.
That was dirty.
That was dirty, and if somebody did that at Tricup, I'm pretty sure that I would not award the
Loss of game.
because the other opponent acknowledged it, and we just don't play that way. But like in general, just please mark your pockets, especially at Tricup.
Right.
So Susan Huey says the Tri-Cups this weekend for the first time and was highly impressed by how smoothly things went. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate that. Like Jeff, his situation was a little bit, we held him up a little bit, and we appreciate the feedback because we do definitely take it into consideration.
Chad, Ron Beckwith has your plaques, whichever ones were Albans to give out.
Okay. And Mike Knudsen says, thank you for all you do. Great player shots. Mike, I saw your dissertation that you sent, and I'm excited to read it. I just have to make sure that I have enough time to read it.
Oh, I read it.
I'm excited to read that, and I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff in it. I just haven't had a chance to read it yet. Did you see?
Oh, I read it, and I just didn't realize how involved things have to be to get a good shot with the up in the air camera.
Oh, was he talking about the? Somebody else did not. Somebody else commented that they didn't care for the way we had 3 matches going because people requested their matches to be on the live feed. But then somebody yesterday told me that they're never going to watch a live feed again because it was just too hard to watch. They said table 2 had a glare and you couldn't even tell the players, and then on table 4 you couldn't see the balls. So I'm probably not going to do that again. And then I'll read Mike's email and try to get that straightened out a little bit more too.
I mean, we're not professional photographers,
We are not.
We are not, and the feedback is welcome, and we'll try to fix it. But to just come out and blatantly say I'm never going to do it again because you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
No, that was something else.
It's like, wow.
That was something else. Yeah, I bet they can't tell we weren't English majors. Wait a minute, one of us was an English major.
One of us never listens.
They can't see me raise my hand. There it is. Does anybody else have a husband that doesn't listen? I'm just curious, so I know I'm not alone. And moving forward, so our get well soon is still Joe Thani.
He's home from the hospital.
He is home from the hospital. And I hear he's doing much better. Joe Hoffman, I've heard no update on, and Mike Betts, I heard, is pretty much where he always was. So everybody pray for Mike. Yes, Chet. What are you nodding to?
Yes, Chad.
Yes, Ron has your plaques.
Mike, I still think you should mark the pocket. It's a good habit. Kind of like brushing your teeth. You're supposed to brush them in the morning after you eat, and go to bed. Just do it, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of divisions that the players mark or call. Like I think in Masters, now in Masters they do that all the time, and even in Vegas you'll see them just point into the pocket. But I wouldn't trust my opponent.
Nope.
I've seen some shady stuff. I've had some of our players do some shady stuff.
Anyway, get well soon, Mike Betts. I haven't heard any updates on Mike either.
I have not either, and it's his birthday. Was his birthday yesterday? Or is it coming up?
I know it's in January.
It must have been because I don't see it. I'm pretty sure it was already. Yeah, I don't see it.
Alright, let's wrap it up.
Okay, so today's birthdays are Brent Hartman, G3, I'm a third also, Dan Sopp, Barb Tompkins, and Mac Trexler. And that's all I got. I don't see any more comments coming in. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
See some of you next weekend.
And we'll see you at Tricup. And please keep in mind what I told you. All right, take care. Bye.